The White Mountains had always whispered to Louise. At 52, her life as a psychologist was intense-filled with broken marriages, quiet sobs, and deep wounds. Nature was her antidote. On November 15, 2001, Louise Chapeau crossed the U.S.-Canada border alone, craving solitude and solace after months of unrelenting work. She was headed for the Joe Dodge Lodge in New Hampshire. Nestled in the shadows of the towering presidential range, the chill in the air, and the fading autumn sun welcomed her like an old friend. At 3:00 p.m., she arrived at Pinkham Notch and, despite her exhaustion, she stopped at the visitor center. She spoke with an employee in broken English, her French accent lacing her words as she asked for a short trail recommendation. "The Lost Pond Trail," he said. "Just across the road. Easy and beautiful this time of day." She smiled politely, thanked him, and walked out. That man was the last confirmed person to see her alive. She never checked into the lodge. 4 days later, concern turned into fear. Louise hadn't called her daughters Corinne or Constance. She always checked in. Her boyfriend phoned authorities. On November 20th, her silver Ford Focus was found parked oddly at the Glen Falls lot, near the Durettasima Trail. Still inside were her hiking boots, water bottle, and a chocolate bar essentials Louise would never hike without. A chill settled over investigators. Something felt wrong. They searched the trails. On Thanksgiving morning, 200 feet off Glenbrook Trail, they found her. Louise's lifeless body lay twisted in a mossy clearing, stabbed multiple times, her coat shredded, her eyes open wide in eternal shock. She had fought hard. Bruises on her arms, dirt under her fingernails. And something more chilling, a ring of pine needles arranged in a circle around her, too perfect, too deliberate. The scene whispered of rage. Not robbery. Her wallet was untouched, but her blue backpack with the Canadian flag and her sleeping bag were gone. So were her car keys and a small silver pendant with an S on it. Personal, specific. The wind howled through the trees as if the forest itself had witnessed everything and refused to forget. Local rumors began to swirl. "She wasn't alone out there," said an old hiker who frequented Glenbrook Trail. "Something followed her." Investigators found no witnesses, no surveillance, and no clear motive. But they did find something unsettling. Her last credit card transaction, made at a convenience store in Colebrook more than an hour away from where she was found just 2 hours before her murder. Had someone followed her from there? Or had she picked someone up? 20 years passed, but the forest never forgets. In 2021, Constance Chapetraby returned to the trail. Now 30, she stood in the same clearing where her mother's body had been found. She held a photo of Louise in one hand and her mother's journal in the other. A local journalist followed, documenting her quiet pilgrimage. That night at the lodge, Constance heard something. A soft tapping, the window was closed. Her breath caught as she approached. There, pressed against the glass, was a blue backpack weathered, torn, and unmistakably Canadian. A white tag stitched on it read, "Property of L. Chapet," she screamed. By the time help arrived, it was gone. Authorities dismissed it as stress, imagination, but Constance knew. The next day, a ranger found fresh footprints in the moss-bare feet, despite the cold. The cold case unit reactivated the investigation. Still, there were no suspects, no DNA, no confession. The hikers still talk. About a woman seen wandering barefoot through the woods. About a French voice whispering on the Lost Pond Trail at dusk. About a clearing near Glenbrook where animals refuse to enter, where phones lose signal, and where the wind suddenly dies. Some say Louise still walks the trails, seeking justice, her spirit bound to the trees that bore silent witness to her final struggle. And some believe something else stalks those woods, not man, but a predator older than memory, drawn to solitude, and waiting for its next visitor who dares to walk alone after dark. If you ever find yourself in Pinkham Notch, near the Durettasima trailhead, don't follow the sound of footsteps behind you. Don't follow voices calling your name. And whatever you do, don't step into the clearing, because the forest remembers, and it's hungry for what it lost. Like the video and subscribe the channel for more horror real crime stories. Thank you very much for watching.